The No Nonsense Guide to Mastering MySQL is finally here. My book, The Minimum You Need to Know About MySQL, is available now, and you can get your copy in the link on the pinned comment. Alright, so go to the comment section, click on the pinned comment link, and get your copy today. Alright, welcome to another MySQL class. In the last class, you learned how to use aliases, how to assign aliases to your columns and your tables, right? And in today's class, you are going to learn how to filter results, right? In MySQL, filtering results is an essential skill. This skill allows you to retrieve specific subset of data from our tables, right? So there are 3 keywords that you have to know to memorize for retrieving data, and these keywords are between, in, and not in. Okay, these 3 keywords are the main statements, are the main clauses for retrieving a subset of data, right? So we are going to test these clauses, these keywords, in a couple of situations here, and you're going to understand the importance of retrieving subsets of data, right? Filtered data. So let's move on. Let's suppose that a bookstore is running a promotion where books priced between $10 and $50, for example, $30 to $50, are on sale. Okay, are on sale. And we work for this bookstore, and the marketing team wants us to create a list of all books that we have stored in our tables within this range price, this price range, okay, for the promotion. What are the books that we can sell in this promotion? It means, what are the books priced between $30 and $50? Just these books. We want a list. The marketing team wants a list only with the books that the price is between $30 and $50, right? So let's give them this list. Let's retrieve using the select statement, right? Select statement. Let's retrieve the title. As we are going to send this list to the marketing team, we are not using the columns titles, the columns names the way they are. We are going to give aliases, right? So let's get used to it using this situation. So let's retrieve the title as book title, right? A more friendly name. And let's retrieve the price as price. As price with the first letter to big letter. I don't know how to say capitalization well in English, but anyway. So let's retrieve these 2 columns right here with aliases, right, to make it more friendly. And let's filter only the books that their prices are between $30 and $50. Okay, so from books where price, we can use the price as the column name itself, not as the alias, right? Between 30, and this is another keyword, right, that you probably haven't seen until now, but we can use this keyword when we want to specify one and another, right? We have this keyword, a similar keyword, that is or, when we want to specify one or another, right? But in this case, to use the between is one and another, between this and that, right? So 30 and 50. Let's retrieve this data and see what happens. So now we have just 3 books, in fact 2 books, because one of them is duplicate. Okay, you already know how to select the distinct, right, the unique value, the unique record using the distinct keyword. So let's try right here. So select distinct, and we can see here that we have a pretty detailed query to retrieve this data. Congrats if you understand what we're doing here. It means you are learning a lot. You can compare this query. If you understand this query, you can compare this query with the first queries that we run in the beginning of this course, and you're going to see how much you evolved. Okay, so we are selecting only the books that are between $30 and $50, that costs between $30 and $50. We are using aliases, and we are using the distinct for not repeating records, for not retrieving data that is duplicate in our table. Okay, so these are the only 2 books that our marketing team can sell in this promotion. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see another situation here for you to understand better how to use the between keyword, the between operator, anyway, to retrieve filtered data. So let's suppose a library is focusing in collecting books from a specific historical period, right? Such as the 1930s, such as 30s and 50s, right? Pretty similar what we've done here, but not with the price, but with the published year, right? So let's select the books, title as book title, published year. Let me see. Okay, published year as year, book year. Okay, and we are selecting title and published year from books where let's filter by published year and not by price, where published year between 30s, right, 1930, and 50s, 1950. Okay, let's see what happens. And we have here something went wrong. Let me see what was the mistake I made here. Let me pause this video to analyze. In fact, it's not a mistake. A mistake is in this case the name of the book is 1984. I thought I made a mistake because the name received a year and the book year received a year. So I thought I made a mistake, but in fact this is the George Orwell's book that is called 1984, right? So let me filter another data. Let's suppose this situation we want to retrieve just the data that is just the book that were published between 90s no, 30s and 90s, right? Yeah. All right. In this case, these are the books that we retrieved. And again, this is right. It may seem wrong, but the name of the book, the book title, is really a number, a date. All right. So in this situation where a library is focusing on collecting books from a specific historical period, we have these books. Okay, we answered this question, we solved this problem with this query. And again, this is a pretty more advanced query in comparison with the queries that you used in the beginning of this course. So if you understand this, congratulations, you are getting better. Let's move on for another example. And in this next example, let's suppose that a bookstore wants to exclude books and not select specific books based on what they want, but based on what they do not want, right? So let's suppose that a bookstore wants to exclude books in the price range of 10 to 15 for a specific promotion, right? Let's focus only on more expensive than 15 or cheaper than 15, right? We are excluding a subset in this case. We're not selecting the subset. We are excluding the subset. So we also use between, but we can just add the not keyword in front of the between keyword, and we're going to have the clause not between, right? So this book is not between this and that value. That there is the data that I want. Okay, so let's translate this to SQL language, and to do that we start with select. Let's retrieve the title as book title as always. Let's retrieve the price because we are using the price as the center of our analysis, right? We're making our analysis based on the price, so it makes sense to retrieve the price. Let's use an alias to keep things organized. Although the alias is the same name of the column, okay. Even the alias being the same name of the column. I believe that's how you say it in English. So from books where price is not between, right? Not between 10 and 15, sorry. $10 and $15. Let's see what happens. And these are the books that are not between 10 and 15. I believe oh no, that's right. Let's see if we really have books between 10 and 15. Let's remove the not keyword. We have these 2 books. All right, that makes sense. So these 2 books, I don't want these 2 books in our output. So not between solves for us. We have the list with the titles and the prices, and that specific 2 books are not within it. Okay? There you go. That's how you write this statement, filtering data that is outside a subset, not inside a subset. That's pretty powerful. You get more and more flexible working with queries, retrieving data using this kind of statement, using these keywords, right? Not between, and, or. Let's see a situation where we can use or, okay? So let's suppose a historian, the person that studies the historian, I believe. Anyway, this person is studying books that were published in particular years, specific years like 1925, 1961, and let's suppose 1925, 1951, right? 26 years later, and 1960. Okay, a range of years to understand the differences between the cultural trends in society. Okay, let's use this analogy. So we have to find the books, we have to generate an output with a list of books, a set of books that were published in 3 specific years, right? So in this situation, we can use the or keyword, because if we use and, the books would have to be published in 3 different dates, and it's not possible. there is only one published date, published year for a book. The book is published once. The same book can be published twice. It can be republished, but it's another version of that book, not the same version, another edition, right? So in this case, we want to apply three filters: the published year, but three possible published years. And this is the perfect situation where we can use the OR operator, the OR keyword, right? So let's select title as book title, as always. Let's change a little bit. Let's change to book name. I believe it's better. Published year, obviously. Published year as year. Year is a reserved word in MySQL, so we cannot use, right? So let's use published year. Not problem. Or published year is better. From books, let's apply the filter OR, okay, where published year equals 1955, or published year equals 51, I guess, right? 1951, 26 years later, and or published year equals 1960. Okay, that's it. Let's break this line to make things more clear. So this way we can see better, because these three parameters are the same, one or another or another. Be careful when you write this kind of statement for not forgetting this, right? It is a pretty common and frequent mistake because you already told that you were filtering by published year, where published year equals this date or this date or this year, in this case this year or this year or this year. So it's a little bit tricky, right? So you have to specify the column even if it is the same, okay? So published year equals this year, or published year equals this year, or published year equals this year, okay? So let's run, and there's a better way. There's a better way to do this, okay? Relax. If you already know, if you're looking at this and thinking, why the hell you are not using the in keyword? Wait, relax. We're going to use. I'm just showing you that you can do this way, right? It filters the books in many possible published years because we used the OR keyword, right? Okay, can you get it? That's it. Let's move on to another situation where we can use the OR keyword for filtering data, but we are not using the OR, we are using the IN. This same situation, let's use the same situation. For you not to have to write 3 times the same field, 3 times the same column, and 2 times the same operator, the same keyword, you can use the IN keyword, right? So you can change this to where published year in a range of values, like this. Okay, like this. It makes your statement shorter, it makes easier to read, easier to write, more sophisticated, and it's better for you to write this way, and it retrieves the same data. Okay, just another way of writing, and it's a better way of writing the statement, filtering the data. Okay, because let's suppose that you want to apply 100 published years. It's way more easy to apply like this, right? Then like this. Right? 100 published years like this is way more difficult than write 100 published years like this. Okay, so that's it, right? Let's move on. We're not finished. We have a couple more examples, because the same way you used the not between clause, you can use the not in clause. So I want to get data, I want to retrieve every book that was not published in this date, in this range of published years, this range of years, right? So I just add the not in clause, and I get every book that was not published in this date, in this range of dates. Okay, I hope you understand this, and let's put things together. Let's put the between clause and the in clause, the between keyword and the in keyword together. Let's suppose that this bookstore wants to feature books in a particular price range, as we did before, but also in the significant historical years. The two parameters at the same time, the two operations that we did before, but in the same statement. Can we do that? We can do that, right? So this way right here, we are already filtering the books that are inside a subset, this case published year, in these published years, right? And we can just adjust this statement to retrieve the price and see if this price is between a specific range of price. Alright? So that's what we are going to do to finish this class. So we're going to add the price as cost to make things a little bit different, right? From books and where published year in this published year, and let's use the and keyword, price between 10 and $50, for example. And we have these two books that fit our criteria, right? So I'm pushing the limits a little bit, because when you are working with databases and data in general, you are going to face situations where you have to understand how to translate the business rules, the criteria, to statements. And this is a good way to practice, in my opinion. Okay, just coming out with a couple of criteria and trying to filter data using the queries and the filtering keywords like between, and, where, obviously, not between, right? So if you understand this, I believe you're ready to continue this course, right? If you don't understand this, I highly recommend you to watch this class again and the other ones I've posted before this. Alright, so that's it for today. See you on the next. I always say nest. I always say nest instead of next. But anyway, see you on the next class. If you're struggling to consolidate your MySQL knowledge, try reading a page of my book, MySQL, The Minimum You Need to Know Before Bed. It's a simple way to reinforce your understanding and boost retention. So click the link in the fixed comment to get your copy right now.